Welcome back to another episode on the Solent Warrior. We are out on a species hunt today. It is a massive tide. This is going to be really difficult. There's not a great deal of places where you can anchor up and fish in a big spring tide like we've got today. But we're going to give it a go. We're going to see if we can find some bass. We're going to see if we can find some plaice. We're going to see if we can find congers, rays, maybe the outside chance of a codling. I think we should still get some bream. But we are going to try and find as many species as we can between Portsmouth, the Isle of Wight, and Milford on Sea. That's what we're going to do today. The sun is flying up. I should have been out about an hour ago, so let's just get going, see if we can catch some fish. Right, while we're waiting for the tide to turn around the other way, I've just dropped in on a mark that a friend of mine said there has been some codling caught. Now, we all know that I'm going to be catching dogfish. It is a given on this mark. I'm going to put a light rod down because I think there might still be some bream there. But we're going to put some big baits out, see if we can catch maybe a ray or a cod. We're going to sit on this mark for maybe an hour and a half, and as that tide starts dropping out, I'll be able to head down the western side of Solent, get down the Needles, pick up our bass there, and then come round into some shallow ground, see if we can find a place. We've got a plan. I'll get it set up, I'll show you exactly what I'm using as I send them out. Let's see if we can catch a fish. It is bitterly cold today, ladies and gentlemen. It is very cold, especially when you're baiting up a frozen squid. All I'm doing is I'm stitching the hook down through the squid because it keeps it straight in the tide. Once I get down towards the head, I'll pop in just at the edge there and come out one of the eyes, or run a bit thicker there. That it is just on running ledger. Shouldn't be on too much of lead through here at the moment. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's stick down 5 ounces, probably not enough. Right, we're going down on 12 at the moment, which is probably going to be a bit too much, but I'm just trying to get a bait in nice and quickly at the moment. Bait down. Let's hope. Well, we know the first fish is going to be a dogfish. It is inevitable. Right. Let's get a light rod down, see if we can catch a bream quick. While this tide is pissing through, the bream here should be all over it. So let's get, that sun's going to be annoying, but let's get a light rod down. My hands, I'm trying to stop that sun. My hands are barely working today. This has been the first day out on the boat that I've considered it's pretty much winter. All I'm putting on here, if you haven't been to Rover Tackle, they use pre-made rigs. Oh, they sell pre-made rigs. Let's try and get that sun out of the way. And I'm just putting on a one up, one down flapper rig, or what some people call a scratching rig. Small hooks, you can scratch out small fish. We'll get a couple of strips of squid on that and get it down. That's all it is. Head at the bottom. Couple little flappy bits of squid. hoping that's going to find a few bream. That'll pick up all sorts. That'll pick up pout, whiting, dogfish, of course. We know we're going to catch dogfish. I'm just calling it out now because it's going to happen. Get some of these lure rods up out of the way and we'll get another big bait down. We'll stick a fish bait down on this next one because you're much more likely to catch a conger on fish bait. They do take squid, but big conger like a fish bait. Just while I'm baiting up this, so I've gone with a 460 and this is a bluey. This is frozen bait. You don't get them in the UK. You can buy them in the tackle shops, but they're not. I think they're a Mediterranean fish or something along them lines. Someone will probably tell me in the comments where they're actually from. Same as the squid. I stitch it down through the bait and then hook out the bottom. But with bluey, it is a very soft fish. So you want to get some bait elastic and whip that hook right on. We are actually getting a bite, so I'm going to be as quick as I can with this. Try not to be too much of a retard. There we go. Stitch that on loads of times around the bait and the line. That's going to keep it nice and streamlined. And then I go around that hook, round the hook, round the hook. That stops the hook slipping up and down. That is your bait. It's on the same rig as we've done before, but slightly upgraded bite tray. So I've gone with £100 because if we pick up a big conger, we're going to want something that's not going to bite through. Congers will spin and bite through line. Let's send this out quick as we can because we get a bite. Gone with about 4 or 5 foot bite traces on this because I am looking for a coddy. They can be a little bit, they'll pick the bait up, move it around. You want it to be as natural as you can. Any sort of resistance straight away, they'll just turn around and leave. Let's have a look. Let go. Yes, we dropped it. Bait's still good. Just pull it down a little bit. Bait's still good. Send it. All I'm doing, that you don't need to cast from a boat generally. You can sit on the mark that you're hoping to fish. All I'm doing at the moment is I've got a little bit of reef to one side of me here, and then I've got sand to one side. So I'm putting where I think the cod will be, where I think the bream will be. I'm moving them around to where they need to be. Phew. Bless me. There's our first fish. not the ideal first fish, but it's species number 1 of the day. Hook right in the side of the mouth. Dirty dogfish. He's about to puke them. We're going to pick up a few of them on this mark. Checking the bream rods still have squid on, because when there's small fish around, small bream, they're going to peck that to death very quick. So I've reloaded it and I've cast it a little bit further to my left, and I can feel that it's bumping in reef. Perfect place for a bream. You'll get all sorts of different species in reef as well. Small fish, see if I can get out that sun for you. Small fish will hide in the reef, so the predators will be around that reef as well. So you've got your gobies and your blennies and things like that, or you know, small white and small pout. They're all going to be tucked in on them reefs, little wrasse. So any big bass, big conch, big congers, they're all going to be looking around in them reefs for them small fish. If you can present a bait in that, you're in with a good chance of catching a decent fish. I'll tell you what we could do as well. I have got a 4th rod here that is set up for tope, but what we can do is I've got some mackerel with me, some frozen mackerel, so we can stick a big mackerel head and guts on that, just on the off chance there's a monster fish about. It's not another fish that we want here. Again, that is another little dogfish. I knew we'd get plagued with them here. This is perfect dogfish grounds. There we go. You can tell it's a dogfish and not a bull huss by little nasal flaps there. If I do catch a small bull huss, I will show you the difference. But we will get plagued with them here. We knew that. I won't show you any more of them if we do catch them. Oh. I said I won't show you any more. We've got one out there, I think. Yeah. Best way to handle these fish, I'll try and show you on camera. Tuck the tail up and hold the tail and the head with the same hand. Because these little dogfish, I can get this hook out. I don't know if you can hear that. Very rough skin. And one of their, I don't know if you can see on my thumb. Can you see that little scratch up? They'll rub themselves on you, which is one of their defences. It's one of their defences. And they will leave quite a sore little mark. is all the dogfish you're going to see today. I'll try and catch something better. This is what's going down. That's what we're resorting to at the moment. I'm sure we could pick up a big conger where we are, and hopefully the dogfish won't bite this too much. Is us. He's taken that hole. He's going to have a little puke. That is a bull huss. Now, can you see these big pointy nasal flaps? Marking's always a little bit different as well. But that is your bull huss. Species number 2. Yeah. That whole mackerel head going off again. Whoa. We got it. What is that? That feels like a weird fish. Ooh. There's the mackerel head. There's that circle hook. That. It's a beautiful bass. Right, my kettle's going off down there. I dare say he's coming home with me. We're going to do a nice little catch and cook. So, I've said this in previous videos, but for anyone that's new on the channel, we've had a load of new subscribers recently. Bass in the UK, minimum landing size is 42 centimetres. This is 54 centimetres. It'd be about 3 or 4 pound. Looking about 4 pound probably. Now I'm going to dispatch it off camera. Google ikijimi, give it a brain spike, that kills the fish. Cut the gills and bleed all of the meat, all of the blood out of the meat, and it makes a much tastier fish. Well, we've got 3 species on the tally. We've got dogfish, bull huss, we've got bass now. Oh, and we've got a nice bit fishy. There was a bait flinging around a minute ago while I was boiling this up, so bit of fish gam coffee. Fish gam, yeah, well done there. There's a few more species I want to try and find on this mark before we leave. And like I said, about 11:30 this morning, what time we got now? 10:15. About 11:30 we've got a tide swing around going the other way, so as this slackens off I'll be able to punch down the western side of the Solent without smashing too much fuel in. Getting a few bites on this black lug, but we're not picking anything up on it. Strange. Oh, that mackerel head's getting bit as well. The mackerel head is a little bit worse for wear now. It's caught 2 fish. It's caught the bull huss and it's caught the bass. We've got the bass bleeding out in a bucket of water down here at the moment. So if you're new to fishing, then this will be an absolute gem for you. When you bleed out a bass, all of the meat, all of the blood will come out of the meat, and it makes us for such a better tasting fish. The key is when you cut the gills, you give it a brain spike, which kills the fish dead. When you cut the gills, you need to put it in a bucket of water, because otherwise it'll bleed for a little bit and then it'll congeal and it'll clot. If you put it in a bucket of water, it'll keep flushing through and you'll lose all of the blood. We're allowed to keep 2 bass per day at the moment, per angler, per session. We are starting to swing a little bit now. We're starting to lose the tide a little bit now. We're going to lose it a little bit earlier here than I need it to stop further down. It's a much shallower mark here. When we go down the western side of the Solent, at the moment it's pumping about 2.7 knots. So when you're steaming into that, you're going to use a lot of fuel. Yeah. Got him. Did I get him? Just lost him. Look at that. That mackerel head is getting absolutely munched. I don't know if we can catch any more fish on that. We'll give it a go. That has been munched by 3 fish now. Look at the state of it. They're loving that mackerel head. We can catch a ray on that as well. Right, I pulled anchor and we're off. Just to go through what I'm using, I've got a Mimic speed jig on here. I've got a Sidewinder slow pitch jig on a slow pitch rod. And we've got a Skerries Pro on the other rod. You always got to have a Skerries Pro with you, because if you haven't, you're not doing it right. Let's go.
Well, I think you better run like a kamikaze ball of fire right into the sun. Well, you know it's never done. Well, it's all I ever say is a walk the line several times a day. But nothing ever seems complete to me except for holidays. Well, nothing ever really gets done when you think about it.
Right, we've just got to the needles and the swell is mental. We'll see how long we get on this. We're gonna have to be really fucking careful here. We don't want to get caught out. We don't want to get caught out here like this. You can't see it on the camera. It is mental. Let's see which way we're drifting at the moment. We've got wind against tide. Now, with the Mimic speed jig, we are drifting at 2.2 knots. If I'm a little bit quiet, it's because I'm keeping an eye on this sea. Yeah, fish on. Oh. Going into a really dodgy bit of sea, so I'm going to get him up boat and we'll turn round for, whoa, fucking Jesus, before that thing gets us. Right, there's our bass, little tiny one. Gonna spin us round. Try and keep my nose into the swell. Oh, there we go. It's only a small one. Pretty much a mackerel. Right, we've got one more little chance here. Yeah, there we go. They're little tiny shoalies. One last little attempt, because there is a lot of fish on the sounder. There might be a bigger one in amongst that. Oh, came off. They're still there. We're quick. Feels like a slightly better one. No. Oh, he is ever so slightly better. They're still there. They're still there. Right, that's a better fish. That's a much better fish. Yes. Oh, that's what we're looking for. That's the sort of shit we're looking for. Always a nice fish. Go on, in there. In there. That's not a bad fish at all. Oh no. Let me get this in, I'll show you the fish. Oh, it did catch one. I don't even have to work these lures. The Sidewinder, Scary's Pro, you don't even have to work them and you'll catch fish. Now, let's have a look at this. Whee! Come on now, buddy. It's enough. Don't want a spike in the end. Ah. There we go. Now that is the sort of fish we are looking for. Beautiful Isle of Wight bass, mimic speed jig, ease maybe 4 or 5 pounds. Cracking fish. We've got one already. We don't need one. So, yeah. Another little baby. Come on, where's these big ones? We want one of these Isle of Wight monsters. If you've watched my previous video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh, he's a bit better. He's a bit better. Not the monster that we're talking about though. Tell you what, there's fish everywhere right now. I'm going to get it straight down. Coming into a big shoal of them there, which you'll generally pick up smaller fish in a shoal like this, shoal fish, but there's always that chance. What's going on here then? Have I got a bird's nest on a fixable reel? Shut up. Oh, now I'm caught up in the bottom. There we go. Dramatic scenes here out on the Needles. Oh, a fish on. Oh. It's all going off here today. Bass hooked in the side, oh, and in the mouth. Are they still there? Right. We've had enough bass now. Let's go find a place for some breams. Bream. I'm just going to go and show you, if you are fishing this area, why we don't go across what's called the shingles bank on the chart. And I'll show you why in a minute. I don't know if you can see all of these breaking swells coming. This is a big bank called the shingles. It is very, very fucking dangerous. If you're fishing this area and you want to get over to sort of Milford on Sea, sort of Barton, Bournemouth way, and you're at the Needles, go down to Hurst and come round. There is some small tides you can go across it when it's been flat calm, but when we've had westerly or southwesterly, there's a swell that breaks over that, and some of the waves that kick up over it, it's deceiving. It'll look like, oh, there's a little bit of rough water, I can get through that. I've been on that and all of a sudden 7, 8, 9 foot big rolling surf wave has come across, and you can get in trouble very quick. Go around the outside, be patient. I am where I wanted to go for the place, but the colour of the water in there, you can't really see it. It's like milk. I think there'll be bream there, but I don't think there'll be place there. I do have a backup mark. There's an outside chance that we might get some gilt heads at the backup mark as well. There's not much weed in the water. That's the backup mark, that's the problem there. If there's weed, you can't fish it. But there's fuck all weed, so we're going to the backup mark. We're here. What I've done while we're heading here is I've just put a couple of 1 up, 1 down with size, so 1/0 on this one. I'm looking for bream on this mark. So we're tucked up at the tide. We're in 26 foot of water, but we're on like a bit of sedge grass. Sedge grass or sedge bank, I call it a sedge bank. So it doesn't get much simpler than this. We're just going to go with squid. I'm just going to cut a couple of strips of squid. Bring that camera down a little bit. A couple little strips of squid on each hook. Right, we're all set up. I've got 3 rods out, 2 scratching with squid on, and 1 running ledger with a bit of ragworm on. Now, I've got a beach maybe 400 yards up that way to me, and it runs at about 9 to 10 foot all the way to here, and then it drops down. It's like a sedge bank up there, and it drops down into, I'm in 24 foot of water, so I'm right on a contour line on an edge. If there's anything going to be feeding, that's the sort of features you're going to be looking for. Now, like I said, this is the squid tentacles. So we're going to dice all that up. I'm going to dice this squid up as well. What I'll probably do, a little tiny bunch of ragworm as well. Now I've got a little mash there of squid and ragworm, and every couple of minutes I'll just throw out little handfuls. You want to do it little and often. Like I said a minute ago, if there's passing fish, passing shoals of bream or passing bass or anything like that, and they get their nose on that scent and it's scattered around this area, they'll turn and they'll stick in the area and feed. And while we're waiting for the fish, it's that time of day. Cheese toasty is coming out, because I am starving hungry. haven't eaten a thing today. I wonder if we can fit a bream in the cheese toasty maker. If we get a small enough bream, we'll just gut him and slam him into the cheese toasty maker and get him on the hob. We overdone it a little bit. Let's give you the non-burnt side. The side that looks Parker. Tell you what, I should be getting. God, that is cooked. Where can we put this? If you haven't got yourself a cheese toasty maker on the boat, it is an absolute game changer. Amazon needs to be giving me some money, really. I've probably had 60 or 70 people messaging me saying, "Oh, I've seen a video, I've got a cheese toasty maker on the boat." Fucking game changer. It is, especially when it's a chilly day like this. It's a proper morale booster. Right, we've got it all going on. Trying to cook a pasty. I'm burning a pasty. Oh. Right, we got fish bloody everywhere now. That's just gonna have to start. I think that's a dogfish. Really hoping this is a bream. Feels like a dogfish now. It was giving bream bites. Ah, right, okay. Right. We've got our bream. But that is a very small version of what we're after. I can't even remember what species we're on now, but this might be just starting to come alive here now. I've been sat here for a good couple hours, and of course this dogfish is going to be a pain in the ass. There we go. Right, let's deal with this. Can't believe how many. I mean, if you've been watching my videos recently, you'll know I don't do a lot of bait fishing. This is okay. Another species. Strap congaree. Right. We are getting somewhere. 2 extra species. Let's get these rods baited back up. Get them sent back out, because we might, this mark might have just switched on. Strange how some places can fish well at different states of the tide. We're starting to get a good bit of tide through here now. We weren't getting a great deal a minute ago. Get these baited up, stop my pasty burning, and see if we can find a proper bream. Yes. Yes, the cheese toasty maker. I burnt it because of them fucking fish. Yes, the cheese toasty maker. Oh yeah. Is there anything a cheese toasty maker can't do? Wind is swung easterly. It is getting cold. Oh my god. Oh. That was a decent bass. Right, we've got a good one. Rod absolutely hammered over. We've picked up a proper bream there. Absolutely smashed over. Thank God, because I was getting a little bit... Well, we haven't got it in the boat yet, mind you. This might even be a gilt-head the way it's fighting. Absolutely hammered over. God, so strong. Just a black, but it's a good one. It paid off. That is a black bream, and that is a tidy size as well. In fact, you might even be coming home. It is coming home. It's coming home because we're going to do a catch and cook with the bass anyway. God, he wasn't coming off. God, they're so strong. Can I even get this hook out? It's gone in. Oh God, they're like, it's like a bar of soap with razor sharp pins in it. There we go. Right, we'll dispatch him in a sec, but let me just show you the fish before he loses all his colours. When you dispatch a bream, they lose all their colours. That is black bream. Lovely fish. Right, dispatch it off camera. And yeah. Right, we've caught what we came here for on this mark. So I'm going to fish these baits out for another 5 minutes just to see if there's any other bigger ones in the area. But we're going to start punching back. We've got about another hour until the wind comes in. It'll be wind against tide coming through the Solent, so I don't really fancy that. If I can get back in before it does pick up, then great. But I'll see you in the kitchen. Just like that, we're in the kitchen. That doesn't get any less cheesy every time I do that. Right, we have got our bream. We are going to do salt and pepper fish. So, first things first is we've got to fillet it. So let me turn the camera around so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll knock fillets off. Bream are one of the easiest things to fillet. I've already scaled it, so I scaled it in the sink, descaled. Alright, one of the easiest fish. Where's my towel? There we go. So just come down. You've got to be careful of the spines. Just come right down the backbone, all the way, and then you should be able to just run the knife all along that backbone. You'll feel it as you're doing it. Just teasing the meat away from the fish. Once you've mastered filleting fish, you can fillet most fish. There is the odd one that's difficult. just gonna come over the rib cage. I don't keep the rib cage, I leave the rib cage on the fish. That is one fillet. Now, second one is just as easy. Come in behind the pec fin and then just as close to that spine as you can get. Run it up to the head and then down to the bottom. Once you've got a slice like that, if you just put your thumb in, pull it back, it's pretty difficult to go through the bones. If it's difficult to do, you need to stop what you're doing, because to get through them bones, you've got to put a semi-decent amount of pressure on there. So just running it along. When you get down to this side, I go in and tuck it in underneath the backbone there, and then just keep running it down. Pop it out the bottom, run it up. Again, once I've got to these ribs, I'm going to leave them on. Pop it through the skin and off. And that is your second fillet. There'll be no meat left on that apart from the belly cavity and the ribs. But like I said, I don't bother with them. You can see straight through it. No meat left on that. Now what I am going to do is V-bone this. Well, I shouldn't need to V-bone it. What I'm going to do, there is a few bones in it, but I'm skinning this anyway. So I'll just run the knife, so you can see this. We're not doing it very well at the moment. There we go. You want to wiggle that skin back and forward like that. I have left a little bit of meat on there actually, that was quite bad. That was possibly the worst skinning I've ever done. We can leave a little bit on. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves on this one, because that was shit. There we go. That's better. Still a little bit on there, but it's not going to bother us. Now, what I need to do is get these little pin bones out. What you would normally do is something called a V-notch. So you would just go in either side of them bones like that, and then you would pull that out until you get to there where the bones end, and then just cut that out. But we're going to be battering this fish, so I can just run straight down the spine, straight down any little bones, and just whip them out like that. And then we're just cutting it into little chunks. Same with this one. Just take that. It's got a little bit of blood line in that middle bit anyway, so get rid of that. Cut it into strips and then chunk it. Been cutting onions. It's done me in. I've got some chopped white onion, some chopped green pepper. We've got some lazy chili, lazy garlic, and lazy ginger. So what we're going to do is we're going to fry all the garlic and chili and pepper and everything apart from the fish. We're going to fry up in a pan, and then we're going to deep fry or shallow fry the fish separately, and then toss it all together. That's the plan. It's the first time I've done this, so quite a lot of chili. Fuck. Get that all fried up. Look at that. You need to get that. That is a lot of chili. Get that fried up and soften right down, and then we'll deal with the fish. Right, so for the fish, we're gonna give it a nice seasoning of salt and pepper. We'll need some more of that in a minute. Now, I'm doing this a slightly different way to how I would normally do it. So, egg in, and then just get your hands in it. Corn flour. Not too much, but about that much, by looking by the video I've just watched. Oh, lost a bit. Oh, we're going to need a bit more. Basically, just make a coating rather than making a batter to dip in. You just make the coating like this. This is a Chinese video I watched a minute ago, because I've wanted to do salt and pepper fish for a while. Oh, I think it's time to get my hands in there. That's it. That's that coating we're looking for. Right, and then the fish is going straight into hot oil. Right, second batch. There we have our crispy fish. Right, the idea is all of this is softened right down now. Bring it back to a fry. And add your fish. Give it a toss. Right, we've got our rice. There's the fish. God, that's a lot. There you have salt and pepper black bream. Well, this looks a lot like the sort of shit you get from a Chinese takeaway. Oh, shitting Nora. Oh, that's spicy. I'm gonna get tucked into this. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. It's completely free. It's a massive help to the channel. The more subs we get, the more adventures we can go on, the more salt and pepper fish we can do. And I'll see you on the next episode.